The INEC chairman appealed to the youth to come out and register and vote. After all, they form about 45% of our population. So it is imperative. We've been talking about the youth taking over, they're the future of tomorrow and all that. Do you think his appeal is actually going to get people out, the youth, out to be part of this process, as well as the disabled?
Well, Alero, those are part of the institutional progress that I was talking about. First, in the Anambra election, we saw INEC getting magnifying glasses for people with albinism.
Let me read this tweet from Festus Akimboewa. Says, INEC and the many civil society organizations should help INEC to gather a significant amount of data on candidates standing for elections so that Nigerians can make an informed choice when it comes to vote in 2019. Mr. Nwagu, back to you.
Okay, thank you. First and foremost, the candidates, the political parties are on the ballot. There are no individuals on the ballot. So we need to also come to terms with the fact that if you remember in 2011, it nearly cost the then president when people said they were going to vote for him because he didn't have shoes and all of that. And it got to a point where the party understood that they didn't like their party, but they were going to vote for the individual. The party had to up the ante on putting out their logo and everything, knowing that that would be an issue in the elections. So let's engage the political parties. Let's understand what is in their manifesto. Let's understand that it is not just, the parties are not just a vote-catching machine. So having said that, when I was talking about a relative improvement in our elections, I talked about the fact that for people living with disabilities, the advocacy has been consistent and on. And we got some reprieve when INEC decided to take magnifying glasses to Anambra in response to the issue for people living with albinism and that. And now it's getting to the point where we're talking about Braille for the blind. But the counter to that is that it's not every blind person that can use the Braille. So is there also commensurate education for the blind to be able to use what we are making available for them to participate? That's one challenge. Now, it is important to appreciate the fact that our elections is a contest for ill-gotten advantage. People point out advantages, ill-gotten advantage of other people and protect theirs. I talked about the fact that you need a stakeholder engagement to make your election credible. It's okay to talk about underage voting in a local government election in Kano, but we did not revert to the fact that there was also local government election in Katsina where results, the incumbent, the dominant political party posted 100% for itself. You had elections in Akwa Ibom. The dominant political party in Akwa Ibom State posted 100% for itself. Enugu posted 100% for itself. Osun posted 100% for itself. Now, in INEC conducted elections in Katsina, we didn't follow the trend to know that the opposition political party nearly won the rerun constituency election in Katsina. In Osun, where the current senator came from an opposition political party, the local government election in that state declared 100% for the dominant party in that state. We need to come to a point where we have an engagement with ill-gotten advantage. What do you do? Have you asked INEC officials what they go through when they are put in speedboats in rivers and taken into miles into the ocean? Have you asked people what they go through in Ondo State? What do they call it? Salodo. And all of those areas that are hard to reach places that electoral officials have difficulty, holding their own ground against the vicissitudes and attack of the environment and topography of the area in which they are working. So the big issue is not to isolate issues the way we do, is to say, look, for every ill-gotten advantage that produces any kind of leadership, it puts it casts a slur on the quality of the leadership that we have. And I agree with Barrister Chima that we need to just ensure that everywhere election is conducted, there is a desire to make sure that we do the right thing. And it's across the country. As we speak today, when you have 500 people in the register in a community, you do not find 200 people voting. And that was alluded to by the INEC chairman in the Ifako Agege elections. What happens is that after the election, the dominant political party and the community comes together to say, let us share these votes. Everybody knows that happens in the east, in the north, in the west. We are not doing anything about it. And we continue to chase shadows and pretend that we don't know that these things happen. And then we discuss INEC in isolation of the other stakeholders. And that's why I continue to point the fact that not even the media is exonerated from it. Reportage of elections is an all-comers affair. We do not train our people to look out. So if you report aviation, if you report transport, if you report health during the election, you are thrown into the field without even understanding the lexicon of elections at that particular. So we need to come together and say, look, we want our election in Nigeria to be qualitative and one that can produce the kind of desire that we have. And it does not have to be with an individual. I heard Barrister Chima talking about, and Comrade Ojo. Truth of the matter is that we pretend that we have political parties. Who are the members of these political parties? PDP tried to do a biometric registration for its members. APC have tried to do what you call the primaries, all-comers primary. All you need to do is show up and queue up. The reason for all of this is that you do not know who is a member of a political party. I've been observing election at least in the past, in this transition period. You will find out that an individual who is a party agent for gubernatorial election for a particular party will become party agent for another political party in another election. Where does that happen? We were in Anambra State to train political parties. It was at the registration desk that people will be calling to say, please, which party do you want me to register? Which party should I register as one coming for training? We need to come to terms with where we ask ourselves, do we even have political parties in this truest sense? Are they just mere vote-cutting machine, or they organized in such a way that you can have what you call a political party? So you have godfathers. If you are calling for, you have what you call party primaries now. There is everybody who is going for that party primary will be sponsored by an individual. The party card has been bought by an individual. Is the one who shares it. Is the one who determines. So PDP has an event. It has a party primary. The same people who you saw in the PDP primaries are the ones you see in APC. They are the ones you see in SDP. They are the ones you see. So truth is that we are not engaging these issues in the manner that we should. Secondly, people talk about national orientation. And Barrister Chima Olasoko Ojo talked about the fact that the huge amount of money is given to them. That's not true. Check their budget. The people who, the National Assembly that has responsibility to put money in special places like National Orientation Agency, for obvious reasons, will refuse to fund them. The monies that they have as money for a whole year for for civic education, because voter education is just a part of civic education, is money that they themselves in National Assembly will use for just less than 2 months.